Okay, so here we are at Road Atlanta, about to start the race. We skipped qualifying, so we're starting 10th here.
16 laps. The track temp is 65 Fahrenheit.
So we got our launch RPM pretty well dialed. That helped us get by two cars right there and have a bit of momentum going into turn one. I decided to stay to the outside. I saw a bunch of cars collected, kind of all bunched up on the inside, knowing that for the next turn, I'm now going to be on the inside. I was feeling a little racy here. I felt like I had a little bit of momentum and was pushing my luck. And it worked out. I was able to sort of weave through that a little bit. I saw in the entries that basically the top 3 or 4 cars had a bit of a gap to the rest of the field, and I didn't get a lot of time to warm up. I did a little bit of practice yesterday, so it didn't feel completely warmed up. So I figured, let me just start from the back, skip qualifying, and that would probably be more fun. I think that turned out to be the case. So this guy here, I think he made a little bit of a mistake coming on to this super long straightaway, which is costly because of things like this, where that mistake just gets magnified all the way down the straightaway. I carried an additional, 3 miles an hour, but down that hole, however long that is. But I messed up my entry and exit. I drove in too deep on entry there, and so he got back by me. Somebody up ahead went off and came back on. I saw that in the corner of my eye. So I was aware. And so I took a kind of a different, wider line in just so I could have a little bit more visibility. So at this point, we're running in 5th position. Started 10th, running 5th on lap 2 here. So everybody in front is, going to be a bit tougher to pass for sure. Again, he missed the apex a little bit, the car right in front of me, and so I got a little bit of a run going. Not nearly as much as the last time through here, but thinking, what am I going to do different here? He's kind of watching the mirror, I think, because he was kind of jogging to the right, but trying to stay in the middle. So I went ahead and dove to the left. This 9 car here decides to move to the left in front of me, which is not the normal racing line. So I'm not sure that was totally fair. Let's back that up and slow this down. So I'm getting a run on the car next to me here. I pull up to his inside, and the 9 car in front of us sees that and decides to move off of the racing line. He's currently on the racing line, staying far to the right for the upcoming left-hand turn, and then starts moving left into a defensive line in reaction to seeing me in his mirror, which is a clear violation. And then I moved a little too far right here, probably. I thought I was farther clear of that car there, and so we got into it under braking there, and I apologized to him a few times about that. I thought I had more space, and I didn't realize I thought I had more space that I was farther in front of him, and I also didn't realize that I came across. That was us.
Speak more clearly, I can't hear you.
That was us talking to each other right there real quick. I don't think you can hear me for some reason.
That was a little crazy.
He's saying that was a little crazy.
Sorry if I got any there, Brian.
No problem at all.
Had a guy moving over in front of me, so I tried to go opposite.
Yeah, I was just trying to explain to him what I was doing, why I did what I did. I definitely didn't mean to cause him any trouble. I've seen him and his brother in a few races, and they're both in this race too. And here I had a penalty because I had gone off track. I got a time penalty, and I was at the last second to try to pay the time penalty before it was going to give me a stop and go penalty in the pit box. Uh, and so that's why I just had to come to a complete stop, which ended up letting another 3 cars by basically. But if I waited another half a second to pay that time penalty to give that time back, I was going to have to do a stop and go. So I just try to find a good spot on the track to get out of the way. Um, but it cost me a lot. So at this point, I'm running probably 8th again, something like that. 8th or 9th, maybe. So here we go, drafting down this long straightaway. Dive to the inside to try to make my intentions clear here of that's the way I'm going. And try not to outbrake myself this time. And went off a little bit there. And then you have just enough room if you get that, if you take the perfect line through there, you have just enough room. If you get it a little bit wrong, you're going to be in the dirt coming out of that front straightaway. This turn is pretty fun right here. It feels like a neck stretcher. You're basically in it for a long time, and you can feel the vibrations coming through the suspension and the tires and everything. It's kind of cool. This turn is a little bit tough. It's a blind right-hander. You kind of can't see the apex until you're on top of it. So you got to slow down and turn and hope you're turning in the right spot. When I'm passing, I try to make my move pretty obvious, what my intentions are, which direction I'm going. I find some people don't do that, and then the car in front thinks they can kind of block and goof around and try to push somebody to the side. But I feel like if you make your intentions known of, no, I'm diving hard this way, now they're not in front of you anymore, and they might not know exactly where you are, but they know you're one side of them for sure. They know you're on some side, and if they make a move to block while you're already there, it's not going to work out well for them. Did a better job there of maintaining the right amount of speed through both those turns. So we're on lap 4. Lap 4 of 16, and we're in 6th place at the moment. We'll switch camera angles here. This track has a lot of smooth turns, a bit of up and down, kind of rolling sort of hills. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty smooth track. A little bit of banking in all the turns, which is helpful and can kind of save you a little bit. You can push the car a little harder. That turn is kind of flat. That's turn 1, I think. No, I got lost. No, that's definitely not turn 1. So we're kind of down the back straight, real long back straight here. You get hard braking right here. I'll put up the meters so we can see. Watch hard braking go like 80%, 90%, 80%, 90%. I'm modulating it there, 80%, 70, 50, 20, 10. So you can tell there's a lot of brake modulation going on through hard braking and then some modulation. I could definitely feel, I saved it a few times coming through here where I would have lost it with my previous brakes, but with these, could totally manage it. Maybe I lost a tenth of a second or something, but it was controllable. So that was kind of fascinating of how much more control you get, how much more you can drive around that edge of traction, the limit of braking, and you can save the car. You can see the suspension working there. So at this point, I got about I think a second and a half gap to
Sorry, mate, I didn't catch
the
that.
car behind me,
We haven't got that data.
and it's about 6 seconds to the car in front of me. I think behind me is David, and he's pretty quick. I'm just slowly trying to pull out a little bit of time on him, and it's not easy. Him and his brother have the same paint scheme, like lightning bolt thing. Let's switch up the cameras here. Well, the brothers are running in order in what's that, 7th and 8th right now. That's cool. So I think at this point, we start coming up on a couple cars here. Yeah. All right, let me switch cameras around here. So let's go. So you can see here I was talking about like this one's a little bit of a blind turn, and then the next one is the blind turn to the right. So this one kind of got to guess where it is, and this one you're definitely guessing until you're almost right on top of it. I had run a little bit wide and missed the apex a little bit a couple of times, so I was trying to get better at coming right over those curbs. So I felt like I was probably losing a tenth or two to the fastest guys, using all the track. And then I brake pretty hard right at this white line right there is when I start getting on the brakes. Leave the controls up here. Get on the brakes a little bit. Again, it's kind of a blind point too of where to hit the brakes for that turn. I don't have a good braking marker, but I just sort of have it kind of timed about where the RPMs need to be. So the two cars in front are for position. So I'm running as hard as I can, trying to catch these guys. Oh, the one went wide there. I'm trying to get through, but not lose any time, not take time, rubbernecking and watching that guy lose it. One, to just not, to keep trying to catch the car in front of me, and the other one is the car behind me has even more warning of, something happened, and so he's probably going to get through there even better than I did. And then car in front of me, he had it off, and then looped it, trying to get back on again. So we made up 2 positions there in that little bit. So you can see it's a busy time inside the car here. There's a lot of turning going on. Trying to get the timing right on all these things. Trying to hit every apex. Trying to remember what you did last time and where you need to improve a little bit. Oh, missed the apex a little bit there. So then I shifted a little differently to take it because of that. Also, that turn is so slow and kind of flat coming out that you get a little bit of wheel spin, so you can't just mash it coming out of there. You got to be a little bit gentle, but just, a tiny bit less than mashing it. And then watch how hard we get on the braking here. You can see I slowed it way down. We got up to like 95% on the braking pressure. Back to 90, back to 80, 50. So then I'm way up on the curb, back on the gas a little bit. Yeah, modulating throttle. Looks like I touched the brake there for some reason. It's probably unnecessary. I'm back on the gas hard. And then here we go over this hill. And again, it's blind. Blind to the right. You just got to kind of know where to turn. And then here you got to drift way to the left and then crank it to the right. And use all the track. This car is not that powerful. It's like 150 horsepower. So you really want to keep it wound up and use all the track. And I lost it a little bit. You can see the hands kind of correct. Whoop. Kind of lost it a little bit under braking. The rear one was starting to step out, and I had to correct. And you can see there's not. This is actually a little higher than the driver view, so you see actually less than what we're seeing right now. My view is something like this. I don't get to see those mirrors. My head's a little farther forward, but this kind of gives you an idea. There's not a lot of visibility on some of this stuff. Yeah, the field of view is not right on that view. So I think that's about it. I don't think anything really that interesting happened from here. We're in fourth at this point. The car in front of us is about 8 seconds in front of us. I think finishes about 11 or 12 seconds in front. Right now we are on lap 9 of 16. Can't remember if anything else interesting happens here. I don't think it does. Let's skip ahead a couple laps here to see if we can get closer to 80 cars. I think there may be a lap car or two to catch up to. No. All right. Well, we'll call it there. And so here's the results. We ended up getting 4th, started 10th, and we were, it's like 11.2 seconds back from 3rd. But I had fun. Wish I didn't get kind of blocked there under braking, but other than that, it was a great race. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.